I got sprayed in the face, and I watched him covered just like 3 canisters, like right in his dude's face. And my mom called right after I got sprayed, and she was like, "So, Aaron, what are you up to?" And I was like, "I just got sprayed." And a girl I work with, Gabrielle, she came up here. She was lying on the ground, and she just went limp. You know, the cops were pulling her off, and they threw her in a ditch. And I told my mom that, and I was like, "What can I do? I have no idea what I can do." And she just said, "You can't do anything. You just can't do anything right now." And I said, "I have to go." That's it.
2 women who had been clearly, severely pepper sprayed, and the fire people and the ambulance people were just enjoying the sunshine. They were just, "Oh, you know, the sun's nice, you know." And I asked one of them, who looked like he might have been the head guy, you know, and I asked him, you know, why wasn't he doing anything? He said, "Oh, everything is fine." But the paramedics and the people that we pay our taxpayers dollars to were doing nothing. And so I finally asked him, "What is it? How do you know she's not going into shock?" He said, "Well, she's just, you know, she's crying out in pain." So that meant she wasn't in shock. Somebody came running up to say that somebody was injured at the intersection of where the port is, and would they go down and look at this person? And the fire chief or whoever it was said, "Oh no, I don't want to put my people in danger." But I'm outraged to see public servants who are supposed to serve the people and clearly didn't give a shit about these young women.
I want to start out by explaining 2 concepts. One concept is the concept of a street medic, and the other is the concept of a legal observer. Now, these both are actors within nonviolent direct action who actually don't participate in the action itself, but are there to provide assistance. The street medic, the concept of the street medic originated in the civil rights movement because during demonstrations where people were expressing themselves, people would get injured and nobody would be there for them except for their own people. The concept of the legal observer is that this is a person who observes what is happening, usually between an interaction between the police and the demonstrators. If the police are doing nothing wrong, then they don't need to worry about the legal observer. If they are doing something wrong, then yeah, they should worry, because the legal observer is witnessing and taking notes. Now, I told them 1,000 times as I walked slowly towards the person that I needed to assist, and halfway there, a stray police officer in riot gear pointed his gun at me and told me to turn back. And I told him I needed to offer first aid to this guy. And he just kept telling me to turn back. And so I did what he told me to do. I turned around, started walking back towards where I originated from, and after I turned around, he shot me twice. He shot me twice in the back when I was complying with him. We can't depend on the police who are enabling the war on occupation. We can't always depend on paramedics either. I read the Port of Tacoma police reports, and they talk about how you can identify when there's trouble. You know when there's trouble because you will see legal observers there, and you will also see street medics there. And that means these people are looking for trouble. No, that's wrong. They're not looking for trouble. The reason why there are legal observers and the reason why there are street medics is because people don't want trouble.
They didn't even ask us to. They simply pushed us off the sidewalk into the street, and I witnessed workers rifling through people's personal stuff back in Bronson.
Can't recommend strongly enough for people who have undergone trauma to talk with someone, deal with it, reach out to people that have dealt with that. Even if you don't think it's a big deal, it is. It's a really big deal. I think that people have been amazing, and our strength is in our unity, our critical unity, and that we can end this war if we all work together.
When we met today, we were given duties, and mine was cop watch. It's a pretty weird concept, I think, that I would have to watch a cop to see how they behave. That should be a reflection. I think that's a reflection of how these events have transpired.
also want to take the space to say that this ship, it didn't fall from the sky. It came from the occupied country of Iraq. And the violence that we have seen and experienced also didn't fall from the sky. It came with that ship. And just while we're doing this, just to remember that the Iraqi people get real bullets. I also wanted everyone to be just like super hyper aware. I catch myself all the time to be aware of the structures of power that are put in place in order to pit the people against the people. And remember that when you think of the workers and the troops.
Yes.
And the counter protesters. And let's not play into power's trap.
Yes.
All of a sudden, a policeman shoved me and said, "Get over there." And I was shocked because I've never been touched by a policeman in all my protests. And then I stood up and I said, "I'm going to go over there." And so another one shoved me and said, "Get over there." And I said, "I'm going over there." And I walked over there. I saw them pepper spraying them so fiercely and so strongly. And then I saw them just pepper spraying the whole other group, and people were just all falling back. And it was a very shocking thing to me. The other police in WTO, they didn't get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what the hell?
And in DC, the police they're pretty steely, but they didn't do that kind of thing. I think these Olympia police are not well trained or something, because they're very they're very aggressive. It's been quite shocking. I've had a very shocking week, and that was wrong for that ship to come in here, and it's wrong for those to be going through, and so I'm going to be with you until this gets through, and if we have to go to court, I'll go to court, because this is just wrong.